The 1-900 Wrestling program is brought to you as always by patreon.com/1900wrestling. Guys, I've told you about this for the last couple weeks, but this will be your final warning. Pledge to our Patreon right now. Become a patron right now. This is the weekend that you are going to be wishing you had either live in person or if you're sitting on your couch. You've got so many indie things happening throughout the weekend. Man, I'm going to be, so much stuff is happening live on Twitch for free, let alone the things that you're going to wind up paying $8 for so you can stream it. Ring of Honor, Joey Janela's Spring Break, NXT, the Hall of Fame, WrestleMania. You need to have the best live commentary with people that aren't going to be total fuckwits. And that is in our 1-900 Wrestling Discord. Have a good time. It is going to be lit this weekend. And boy, howdy, are we going to make sure that you have it in your life if you pledge to this Patreon. Again, that is patreon.com/1900wrestling. But enough of talking about how we support the show. What do you say, friends? We just do the damn thing.
I want you to call me for all of wrestling's latest news and views. I've been around in wrestling for 35 years, and nobody knows wrestling like me. Remember the number 1-900 Wrestling.
Oh, it's time, friends. WrestleMania weekend is upon us, and I couldn't be more excited. You want to know what the excitement is so palpable that Willie has left his traditional indie wrestling venue.
That's right,
and is now just bootlegging it in some random apartment.
Some apartment in Austin, Texas. Here's the thing though, that ring, that independent wrestling ring, is farther from New Orleans than my apartment is, which happens to be super close to New Orleans. And
man,
every time I read something on R Squared Circle about somebody arriving there, I just get a little itch. I'm like, I have a car. I'm an adult. I'm a big boy. I have a car.
It's apparently, I was just watching wrestling Twitter last night, and
Sure.
I will say this. When we went to the Ring of Honor show in Las Vegas, there was a really, really fun thing that happened at this Winchester bar in Samstown, where the wrestlers were, I guess it was close to the exit of where their backstage was.
Basically, yeah, you walk out of the wrestling area, whatever.
Yeah,
It's like
their
Samstown
theater, yeah.
Live. You go straight and you just run into the Winchester bar, right?
And so smart wrestling fans would just sit by that bar and just yell the wrestler's name and say, "Hey, can I buy you a drink?" And they'd come
And get
over.
pictures with Chucky T.
Chucky
Exactly.
T, everybody's having a good time, right? Apparently that's all of Bourbon Street all weekend.
Yes. Yeah.
Like it's just
It's happening.
wrestling fans and wrestlers. And look, if you're an indie wrestler and all you do is hump around whatever region of the country that you're normally working, you live in Ohio, so you're working a lot of Chicago and Cleveland and Columbus and everything. And now all of a sudden, thanks to the internet, all of your fans are in one place and they all want to buy you drinks. I feel like everybody's in an excellent mood in New Orleans.
How can you not be? I guess if you live there and a hurricane is happening, that might dampen your mood just a touch.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Sure.
But if you are in New Orleans, the rest of all of history.
Yeah, and the
you're having a
hurricane
good
that's hitting is the hurricane you're drinking.
Sure. Sure.
Also, pro tip, kids, no more than one hurricane a night.
Or skip the hurricanes altogether and go for a New Orleans classic, the Sazerac. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, but I mean, oh man, Willie, the more we talk about it, the more I want not only you to do it, but I want to fly to Austin because it's cheaper than flying to New Orleans. And
just fly here and then we'll just drive. Yeah, I mean, look, dude. Okay, Google Maps. This is the problem. I've been doing this all morning, where I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out reasons why this shouldn't. Just
well, the
happen.
reason why is money, right? Because
Sure,
once you get there, you're still gonna need a place to stay. You're still gonna need tickets to the events. Like
these are all things. Yeah. These are all things that matter. Okay, it's about 7 hours. All right. That's another reason. 7 hours of the car sucks.
I'll tell you what.
I mean, in the world that we live in now, with the amount of sweet podcasts that I have yet to catch up on,
I mean, yeah,
7 hours ain't that bad.
There you go. That's basically season.
But this route has tolls, Justin. There's tolls.
Tack it on
along the way.
All right, hey, look.
Tax deductible. That's right.
It is tax deductible. I deducted all that shit, all that WrestleMania stuff from last year. That definitely has been written off on my taxes. All right. We got a lot to talk about. So much is happening this weekend.
Okay, let's get past this. It might come up again because it's the only thing on my brain right now.
Here's what we're gonna do on this episode. Number one, we're gonna talk about all the stuff that is outside the WWE. I'm going to reveal. We have seen, Willie, the final piece of Vince McMahon's nefarious puzzle to get us to cheer Roman Reigns. It fell into place last night. Finally, the final tumbler turned to make sure that everybody at the end of WrestleMania will be cheering Roman Reigns.
Okay.
And we are going to rank the WrestleMania card. We can predict it, Willie, but I feel like we need to rank it as to how excited we are.
We're gonna say which match we think is gonna be like the best match of the night.
Just in our excitement, yeah. So that everything can figure it in, but we'll do that in a second. Let me tell you about this Vince McMahon thing. This guy, tell you what, I'm starting to think he knows a little something about wrestling.
Yeah, he might be able to build an empire one day. Something
struck me watching Raw last on Monday, and it was Paul Heyman mentioning the UFC by name and saying that Brock Lesnar was leaving for the UFC. Now, in real life, this has kind of been a will they, won't they before. If you remember WrestleMania 31 in the Bay Area, there was, Brock chose WrestleMania weekend to announce that he had re-signed with WWE, and it was a big question on whether or not he was going to go back to UFC then, a couple years ago. Now, again, he's in a main event with Roman Reigns, but this time, instead of having it be something that can play out on ESPN, Paul Heyman made it a part of WWE's storyline, and last night, this is what happens on Fox Sports, with an interview between Daniel Cormier and UFC president Dana White.
So this weekend, Brock Lesnar, his contract's over. We saw you guys with the Zuffa Boxing t-shirt. Is Brock Lesnar coming back to the UFC?
Yeah, Brock Lesnar's coming back.
Brock Lesnar's coming back. That's what he says. Dana White, right? Just right there in plain English. Brock Lesnar is coming back, and it is in context to a question of his contract with WWE is over. So here's my question to you, Willie. By
the way, also, I like the little Tommy Wiseout laugh right before he says it.
Yeah, right? Here's my question to you. The last time that everybody in the arena knew that Brock Lesnar was leaving the WWE, he got booed out of the building along with Bill Goldberg. Do you think that will happen this time, now that they are making it is more out on Front Street? Or is the culture different? Are we now not as clingy to somebody like Brock Lesnar?
Well, okay. I think both of these men are going to get booed.
Well,
but
certainly,
people are still going to be super excited about this match. Even if you are booing either guy, you want to see this match. And even if you're crapping on it right now, you are going to... This is like when people crapped on Pacquiao Mayweather and then just like spent all night trying to figure out how to watch it for free, right? Like, like you are still going to be super into this match. I think, though, at this point, people are more ready for Brock to go back to UFC because he's kind of had this title for a while and been part-timing for a while. So I don't think people are going to be like mad.
Are they ready to boo him? Are they ready to boo him when he comes out?
Yes. And I also think they're going to boo Roman Reigns when he comes out. And I think they're going to actually finally cheer
when he wins. Yeah.
Yes.
I think so too.
I think that's actually going to happen this time. I think Roman is, it's like, I think people are kind of getting, it's not like they're getting warm on Roman. They're getting tired of hating Roman. Like, it's kind of like, yo, you keep hating this guy, but he ain't going anywhere. And he's awesome. Like, it's like the guy who shows up and you're like, the first time he showed up, you didn't like him. Then he just kept showing up and like, he was just a nice guy over and over and over again. You're just like, why are we hating on this guy? Like, we like this guy now, right? Like, I don't know. I think it's time. It's time for us to start loving on Roman. It's time for Brock to go back to UFC and fight a few more times. We don't need a part-time champion to come out every, 5 million Raws.
Yeah.
This is all good. This is all good, and I think the fans are ready.
I also just kind of think that WWE's ready for it. Look at how many multi-man matches are on this card, and you got to figure, look, a lot of these guys next year, a year from now, a lot of these guys got to be in the top of the card in one-on-one fights.
They're positioned now. Like when people talk about this is one thing that's kind of weird. It's like people talk about CM Punk never main evented WrestleMania. This guy should main event WrestleMania. This guy should. This guy should. It's like, man, there are too many guys who should. There's just too many. There's one WrestleMania a year. And I get that Roman has done it now 4 times, and maybe that's the issue that you have. But there's too many, and not everyone's going to get – the moment isn't going to be perfect for everybody. But, yeah, there's a lot of guys right now positioned to be there next year, right? To be there at SummerSlam, to be there, like to move into that echelon, right? And I think if we can just accept the Roman thing, maybe we get the other guys next year. Maybe.
Well, yeah. I mean, look. If
maybe they don't feel the need to push it, force it again.
The reason why I was all for, look, let's just get this Roman Brock thing over with. I think the match is going to be fine. I liked the last one. I think that Roman's a better wrestler now than he was back then. It's going to be brutal, and that's the one thing that people, I think, kind of forgot with the Undertaker thing, because the Undertaker he was hobbled, and we can get into that when we talk about the WrestleMania card. But it didn't allow Roman to show just how vicious he can be, and there is maybe no other performer in modern wrestling that can sell big boy, this is like... outside of realistic level of violence than Brock Lesnar. He's gonna hard way Roman, and they're both gonna be bleeding, and it's gonna be a dinosaur fist fight.
It's a weird thing because you remember we actually watched at your place the WrestleMania where we last saw this
31,
right? And at that point, everyone was we were in like that was the heyday of hating on Roman Reigns, right? It was all fresh and new.
That was coming off that WrestleMania or the Royal Rumble where they couldn't even get The Rock to get him over.
Yeah, exactly. Like that was it was prime time for hating on Roman Reigns. And you remember what happened? And then the match was awesome, but then Seth Rollins coming out was more awesome. Like it was like that match was already pretty good, and I remember me and you being like, this is a good match.
This is good. I'm really enjoying this.
And we did both pop when Seth came out and everything. But here's this year, you don't need the Seth to save it, right? You don't need that. Although if Carmella comes out and tries to cash in her Money in the Bank,
moonwalking, trash talking,
I will pop for that. But you don't need that. Just this match is going to be enough. These guys, Roman has kind of come into his own, matured enough, and you're right. Goldberg Brock was exciting because it was Goldberg Brock, and it didn't matter what really happened. We did get the sweet Brock Lesnar.
Which one? The first one or the second one?
Well, the WrestleMania one.
Well, they were both WrestleMania. The one last year or the one back in the day? Oh, yeah.
Yes. But I mean, the recent one. But you got the Brock Lesnar leap over the Goldberg spear. You got that one cool moment, but all that didn't really matter. It was just We just wanted to see that.
Yeah.
This we've already seen, but now it's like we're seeing these guys. This is like Brock's going to be able to go in this match, right?
Yeah.
And Roman's
Well,
going to be able to take him. Like,
this might be Brock Lesnar's last match.
you really don't. He's coming back after a while. He'll go to UFC. He'll have a couple matches. And he'll be back.
I think he'll always be welcome. The only question is whether or not he wants to do it.
Sure.
Because I would guess the reason why he's going to UFC is because the WWE isn't going to pay him what they paid him before.
Maybe. Or maybe they both are just like, hey, this makes sense right now.
I mean, because if you're Brock Lesnar, taking the WWE deal, if it pays comparable, close to comparable, is a way better deal, right?
I mean,
like,
well,
you don't have to go.
It means more landing on your back hard because UFC, you actually get hurt, but you fight like twice. And
yeah, but each time you fight, you're doing what a 2-month, 3-month camp, right? Where you're up, every day at 5 o'clock, and you're getting into just insane shape. He doesn't need. He can just go to his gym in his garage and work out and just stay in WWE shape and show up on a private plane.
What if Brock just never worked out? What do you think he'd look like if he just stopped right now?
The Blob from X-Men. He would just be a gigantic hulk of a human being that is nothing but cellulite.
He would just turn into the Blue Meanie like immediately.
Yeah, but if the Blue Meanie ate 3 other Blue Meanies, that would be Brock Lesnar. If
this is why I don't work out, by the way, because you can't stop.
Of course, stop. Yeah.
All
right, so
start.
I agree with you. I think that this is going to main event the card, and I think that's that we're going to see Roman Reigns get cheered for the first time at WrestleMania.
Like
when he wasn't
legitimately,
in the Shield.
not even sarcastically. Like it's.
No.
People are going to, and I think the match is going to be good enough that when it's over, people are going to be like, okay, I accept you, Roman. It's going to be like that kind of cheer, right?
Yeah.
Like we had our fun moment to begin this WrestleMania season. It's my yard now, right? That we've gone from there to like he is the hero. Right, that's what's good.
Well, he's going to be the hero against somebody that is openly bragging about how the WWE sucks and he can't wait to go back to UFC.
Sure.
Which is, I think, probably going to happen at some point during the card.
But he's also like, it's in the same way like that people hate John Cena, but kind of sarcastically at this point, right? Like at this point,
now,
we're just
listen. We are openly in the I am going to miss John Cena when he's gone phase.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Like it's at this point now he's moving into that territory now, but we're moving into like we love him because we just love him. We just love him,
and it just feels like WrestleMania. It feels like WrestleMania when.
I really want John Cena to make a big deal about being there as a fan. Can we please get like
there's no
shots,
doubt. No. They did not set
shots
that up.
Of him in the crowd.
He is going to be
beer.
He is going to be in the crowd, and he is going to be drinking a beer, and he is going to be doing all the fan things. That's going to be like a running gag in the show.
I want him to be like wearing an Asuka shirt. I want him to be, I want like the whole thing going on. Like, yes, please.
God,
like shots of him coming out of the bathroom, standing in line for the bathroom. Getting pizza.
Oh, you want the vignettes, of him.
Give
just
me the
like
vignettes. Yeah,
showing the WrestleMania experience.
Breezango running by, like just running into him randomly,
giving him a fashion police ticket for the jorts.
Hell yeah, dude!
All right, let's.
By the way, I just got my first pair of jean shorts. I'm a real Texan now. I don't know.
Oh, look at this! All right, hold on. For those of you who are only look at that. Oh, they're cut off too with the little fringe.
Oh yeah. I feel like I'm an actual Texan now. I'm wearing a friggin' tank top and some jean shorts. Yeah,
dude.
Cutoffs.
Chili crackers and a light beer for lunch, and you're
I should just have a rib and a Lone Star in my hands.
All right, before we go whole hog into the Mania card, let's talk about all the amazing things that are happening outside of WrestleMania. On Twitch alone, you've got Impact. Not only. I mean, Wrestle Circus, a big shout out to them, kind of pioneering a lot of the wrestling on Twitch community. But Impact is not only streaming their Impact versus Lucha Underground show for free on their channel, but they are allowing people to co-stream it.
Yes. This is the coolest thing ever. And immediately I was like, wait, what day is this? Can me and Justin do this? Is this going to happen?
The only problem is
the coolest thing ever. Right?
I think it's going up against Hood Slam, if I'm not.
Yeah, it is.
So I will be at Hood Slam, unfortunately, because that's Entertainia 8, also streaming live on Twitch. But man, just such a smart move to let people do their own commentary and spread the word on this. And that's a stacked card.
I wonder if any big streamer who doesn't know about wrestling is just going to decide to do this because it's funny, right? And then in that way bring eyes onto Impact, right? Because there's guys like Forsen and Soda Poppin' and these guys who just kind of do whatever on Twitch, right?
Yeah.
And I know in the past Forsen got banned for streaming like a Hearthstone card reveal. Like he was restreaming it and talking about the cards. And he got a suspension based on that because it wasn't allowed. Here, you're allowed. Like, you're a variety streamer. Let's commentate on some wrestling.
All right, look at this.
Like, you don't have to be into it to do it, right? Like, Impact is good right now. There's a lot going on.
Well, and Lucha Underground is too. Listen to this match here. All right. Scott Steiner, trying to warn you about those fat asses, the freaks
Big
and peaks of Scott Steiner. Big Papa Pump. He's got the hookup. Holler if you hear me. And Teddy Hart versus OVE, Ohio versus everyone, Jake and Dave Christ. You then have Brian Cage versus Eli Drake, Trevor Lee versus Famous B. Here's a big old gang F of a match. Moose versus Chavo Guerrero Jr. versus Matt Sydal versus Jack Evans versus Caleb Conley versus Matanza Cueto. And that joins these matches that were already announced. Austin Aries and Rey Fenix versus Alberto El Patron and Pento Zero Mero.
Yeah, so this is versus Lucha Underground. So
this is So Austin Aries and Rey Fenix.
We're getting the stars from all of these things.
From all these. LAX, Santana and Ortiz versus Lucha Underground's The Mac and Killshot. So that's Willie Mack and Shane Strickland. That's going to be amazing. Tara Valkyrie versus Ali for the Knockouts title. Lucha Underground's Aerostar and King Cueto and Drago versus DJ Z, Andrew Everett, and Desmond Xavier. And then here's the big match of the night. Eddie Edwards versus Jeremiah Crane. Now, they are currently in Impact. Sammy Callahan, who plays Jeremiah Crane in Lucha Underground, he does both. He has, had a incident with Eddie Edwards where he accidentally had a bat in a spot where he was hitting a chair with a bat. The bat slips off the chair, hits Eddie Edwards right in the face, broke his orbital bone. Yeah. And so now
it was brutal.
They are in the main event of Impact versus Lucha Underground. What an amazing show.
So did you watch that clip, by the way?
I have.
That was one of those, like, risky clicks, right? Or you're like, okay, do I want to watch this? Like, do you know when, like, they're like, this person dies. Do you want to see it? And you're like, not really. And then you get, the friggin' curiosity just gets to you and you click it anyway. This was one of those. And I clicked it and I wish I hadn't. Like, I was like, watching somebody just get smashed in the face with a bat is not fun.
It's just so unfortunate because when you watch the clip, you can see what happened. Like,
it's clear. Like, people who were trying to pretend like somehow he was purposely
or he was
asshole,
like unsafe.
Like,
I mean, look, the spot is he sets up the chair on his stomach and his neck, right? Yeah. And he hits it with the bat so as to drive it down harder. And the chair is supposed to go
into the person. Yeah, exactly.
And so instead, I think it might have been Eddie Edwards just breathing too hard. Stomach lifts up just enough so when he comes in too low on the chair, it doesn't stop the bat. It just slides off and hits him in the head. It's just hard.
It's so this is why, when you watch Triple H with the sledgehammer, you're like, that looks so stupid how he hits you with the sledgehammer. Well, this is why.
Yes.
Because when you actually swing a sledgehammer, if it screws up just a little bit, bad things can happen.
That's why Triple H always enhances the sledgehammer by palming
With his
it
hand?
with his fist,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah. With the meat of his hand, exactly.
So there's that.
No, I mean, look, we all know Triple H's fists are harder than any sledgehammer could ever be. The sledgehammer is just adding weight.
That is an amazing show. Another one that was one of my favorites last year during Mania weekend was Joey Janela's Spring Break.
That's right. You were when I came to meet you, you had already been to that.
Yes.
And your description of it made me very excited about independent wrestling.
It was just a gangbang. Like, it was just insane.
Now,
Matt Riddle.
You saw some guys like Keith Lee and stuff was there, wasn't he? And like there was some pretty big names. I think at it, right? I mean,
sure, yeah. Well, I mean that
he's
whole
looking like all those extra indie stars.
This is really
all there.
the two places that you're going to see a lot of these events come out of are the WWN event. That'll be like Progress, Evolve, and this stuff, right? Joey Janela Spring Break, Kaiju Big Battle. And then WrestleCon, which runs all these super shows and everything. Those are the two big, and then aside from Ring of Honor. But here is Joey Janela's Spring Break. David Starr versus Mike Quackenbush. Walter versus Pierre Carl Ouellet. This might be one of the matches of the weekend. I'm just going to tell you. Matt Riddle, the king of bros.
Yeah,
the UFC superstar,
Hates
an indie star that I will be shocked if he goes another 2 years without being in NXT. Versus,
he's coming to NXT. Like,
versus,
he's like a year away.
The man who taught us this year that any man with two hands has a fighting chance, James Ellsworth.
No, wait, what?
Matt Riddle versus James Ellsworth.
Oh my God. All right, well, I'll watch that.
Joey Janela versus the great Sasuke. Joey Janela. Last year it was. Who is it? Marty Jannetty.
Yeah.
Now it's the great Sasuke.
Okay.
And then I think this is your main event. Nick Gage, a death match superstar, one of the most violent people in professional wrestling, versus Penta Cero Mero. That dude is all over these cards, and he cannot be in enough of them, in my opinion.
So I heard a rumor that maybe Phoenix and Penta might end up in WWE at some point. But there is interest.
You know, I think the issue is always, that can they bring their gimmicks? And does WWE want their gimmicks? I mean, for Ray, it's less.
Penta likes to be pretty violent. Can he bring that gimmick?
Well, I think he can do that. The issue is, for Ray Phoenix, listen, he's a mass luchador, but the skeleton face paint, like that's kind of iconic for Penta. And the question is there. And then, of course, here's the biggest outside of WWE event. And listen, man, this is so gigantic this weekend. We're not even going to talk a lot about NXT, but Ring of Honor. It happens the same time as NXT. I'm going to be here in the command center in Oakland. I'm getting 2 televisions. I'm making sure that I'm streaming both of them. I'm going to be doing the red zone of independent wrestling all weekend. The big match.
You got what is it? Ibushi, Kenny Omega, Cody. Oh my God! Like, who is not going to be there? By the way? Oh, and Marty Scurll versus Dalton Castle
for the ROH
Championship?
World Heavyweight Championship. Imagine what it would do to the Bullet Club if the villain Marty Scurll was the champion.
Yes.
No, it would be.
I don't want Dalton to ever drop that title, but I kind of want to see what happens if Marty Scurll wins it. Right? Like.
Now let me ask
just too
you
much
this.
Fun.
Let me ask you this. First and foremost, The Bullet Club explodes. The Bullet Club is fine. Cody versus Kenny. What do you think? What do you think happens here?
Cody versus Kenny?
Cody versus Kenny.
I mean, I think Cody wins because Kenny is putting people over right now. I think Cody wins, but it's through nefarious means, and there's a lot. Dude, there's going to be some emotional moments in this match. Let me just say that. There's going to be involvement from many people.
All right.
And
who do you
some
think
hard decisions to be made by those people?
Who do you think will be involved?
Well, obviously, there's going to be a super kick party at some point.
So, all right,
the
Young Bucks at some point will certainly be out by the ring,
sure.
right?
You're gonna have,
without a doubt, we're going to see.
Will be out there.
Yep. Brandy, Ibushi, probably.
Brandy, yep. Ibushi will also be out. Yeah, Marty Scurll will also be out there, and then you might get like a Jay White something happen at some point too, because I feel like that. I know he's kind of a little bit moved away, but there was a big deal being made of like them trying to get him into the Bullet Club and then him rejecting it. So maybe he has some stake in who ends up being in control there, right? So there's a lot going on around this match. There is just tons and tons. It affects all the other factions.
Let me introduce
what ends up happening.
Let me introduce an idea to you. Let me put it
all
in
right.
here.
You got a theory, huh?
I got a theory. I'm going to put this one in crackpot theories. I'm going to put this one at about 15%. I don't think it's tremendously likely.
Okay.
But
it's wrestling.
Remember,
15%
anything can happen.
Possible.
Anything can happen.
Yes.
Remember that this feud was built up and announced first on Being the Elite. This is a Being the Elite kind of feud. Being the Elite is effectively the marketing machine to All In, right? The event that they're going to be putting on Labor Day weekend. They
So
said
you think that YouTube is going to play a part in this? Here comes Jake Paul all of a sudden?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, listen, he's banned from YouTube now, right?
Okay. Logan Paul. Sorry,
Logan Paul, sure, yeah. They said that episode 100 of Being the Elite
the next episode, by the way,
is going to be something that you will want to see. They have also made mention that there was a big ticket free agent that might be booked for All In. So imagine if this match was tipped. The scales were tipped by Can you imagine? It would come unglued, the building, the return, the triumphant return of Charles Montgomery Punk to Ring of Honor.
They don't care about WrestleMania anymore if this happened. They would just be like, you know what? This weekend is over. That would be insane. That would be absolutely insane.
I mean, if they, all right, so let's assume that All In Chicago is something that obviously
if you want to sell 10,000 tickets, here's how you do it.
There have been rumors about CM Punk for a long time. So if you were going to make a big splash and try to sell as many tickets as possible for that event the following Monday, this would be how you do it, right?
Here's how you halfway do it. That music hits, and then record scratch, it's Dolph Ziggler. And he's moved on from the WWE.
There we go. Yeah, he's dropped out. Sure, he just signed the contract.
I'll put that one at 1%. You got 15% for actual CM Punk, 1% for Dolph Ziggler with CM Punk music.
I mean, I know that it is the cottage industry of all wrestling podcasts to fantasy book when CM Punk is coming back. Sure. I would say this is the most likely I could imagine it. Because it is a
outside of that first Chicago show after that first Raw in Chicago after he had left. Do you remember that? Where the crowd was just chanting CM Punk for like the first 5 minutes and then Paul Heyman came out. Remember that?
Yeah.
Outside of that, yeah, this is the next most likely spot.
Can you imagine if he was going to do it and he wants to do it big? This has got to be, this is, he could hijack WrestleMania weekend and sell out a building in Chicago in a week.
You know what would be super awesome too? Is if like AJ Lee is just at his side now and they're just like Cody versus CM Punk with AJ and Brandy, like, so many cool things.
Or is it Kenny versus Punk?
There you go.
Does Punk screw Kenny?
That's true. That would actually be the more fun match. I also kind of like CM Punk as a heel, so
I don't know. I don't know. All right.
Hey, did you watch the most recent? This is a sidetrack here, but did you watch the most recent Nobody's podcast where they were talking about the Golden Lovers and if they were playing a gay couple? And
I did not. No. But of course, big shout out. Big shout out to Nobody's Watching Wrestling.
It's kind of interesting because their take on it, it's one of those things where my take doesn't have anything to do with how it actually feels, right?
Sure.
To be like a gay wrestling fan, like I can't put myself exactly in those shoes.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting to hear their take about it.
What was their take?
I highly recommend anybody out there go listen.
And by the way, for those of you who don't know, Nobody's Watching Wrestling is a YouTube series and podcast with two drag queens, and they're great.
2 drag queens and a gay DJ.
And DJ Accident Report.
DJ Accident Report, yep. Who's actually my favorite of the Nobodies.
Yeah, no, he's
like he's like your secret favorite. But anyway, yeah, go check that out. It was a super interesting listen.
What was their take?
Their take is that it's complicated for many reasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's other things brought up too, which like there's the Finn Balor stuff. I don't know if you've seen, like he's been posting a whole bunch of stuff on social media, very gay positive stuff, LGBTQ positive stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I guess there's rumors that they want to potentially make his character gay.
The rumor was that Stephanie wanted Finn as an proud gay man character.
Yeah, exactly. Which whatever. I mean, sure, okay. But like their take on that was kind of interesting too. It's like, is that real representation when you have straight people pretending to be gay for like, you know what I mean? It's like, is this the representation we want? Like it was like all these kind of things were being tackled, and it's a really interesting listen.
All right. No, there we go. Big shout out to that.
Don't stop listening to this podcast because you pick up that one. Just also listen to the Nobody.
You're gonna get a lot of different opportunities to listen to a lot of different podcasts. Okay. Well, there we go. That's everything outside of WrestleMania, and except for NXT. I mean,
NXT is also going to be friggin' amazing.
It's going to be insane, and Ricochet, and I mean, some of the guys that were the all-stars. Looking, by the way, all these other cards, I think on Evolve, Keith Lee's wrestling a couple times, but other than that, Keith Lee will be in a WWE ring during WrestleMania weekend at WWE Access. They're doing a little mini tournament for the UK Championship, for the new US Championship, for the Women's Championship.
North American Championship.
The North American. Oh, God. So much.
So you got Cien Almas and Aleister Black. You got Ember Moon, Shayna Baszler. You got like Ricochet. You said. I feel like Candice LeRae may do some stuff that we don't know about yet, but
well, here's
just
the
so
big
many
news.
things like that show is gonna be friggin' amazing.
It's gonna be great.
The finals of the Dusty Rhodes thing too, right? Isn't that going on as well?
No, I think it's now
the
going
Dusty
to be
Rhodes Tag Team Classic. I thought that the finals was going to happen there.
Well, no, now it's also a championship match with the Undisputed Era, but Bobby Fish injured, so now Adam Cole, baby, has to make a decision. This was last night broken on Twitter.
They did the finals last.
William Regal makes the decision.
I'm making a match
that either Adam Cole competes in both of the U.S. and the tag team match.
And that, by the way, him, EC3, Killian Dane, Lars Sullivan, Ricochet, Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, in a ladder match. in a ladder match for the first ever to crown the first
And
ever
then after that,
North American
he'll have to
championship.
come back. And this is Adam Cole, baby.
Baby.
He's going to take some disgusting bumps.
Yeah. The Panama
and then come
Playboy.
back out with Kyle O'Reilly, who, by the way, is my favorite Undisputed Era guy. That guy is freaking awesome. And then he'll have to come out and who is it? It's Authors of Pain, and it's Dunn and
Roderick
Roderick
Strong.
Strong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then Gargano Ciampa
In an unsanctioned
Woo!
match. This is not
Oh,
sanctioned.
man.
They might get a ticket from the Louisiana Athletic Commission. This is
Is
unsanctioned.
that match actually going to open this show?
No. I would think the ladder match probably would be the one to
Ladder
open
match
it.
opens it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's your hot match.
This show is ridiculous.
Right? This
show
weekend's
is
ridiculous. There's so
ridiculous.
much. This will go down in history as maybe one of the most insane weekends in wrestling history. And we haven't even gotten to the WrestleMania card, so this is what it's all about. The
We've done an
granddaddy of
hour
them
of
all,
not
the
WrestleMania,
showcase of
by
the
the way.
Immortals. Or sorry, no, I'm getting the Hood Slam thing. By the way, Hood Slam also on Twitch, also on Friday. Catch me in the front row. That's where I'll be. Hands on the ring. Super excited. The rabbit with the habit, Drugs Bunny, finally looks to resecure the golden gig against pissed off nerdy gamer. It's gonna be
Do they
lit.
have a liquor license yet?
They do.
Oh man, just in time for Entertainia. Get their liquor license back.
The Tecate Tall Boys just keep them coming. Glub, glub, glub. All right. Here's WrestleMania.
All right.
Let's go ahead.
Here's
and do
WrestleMania, an hour into the show.
an hour into the show. Here we go. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which, by the way, I think is kind of like pretty good. They've got a lot of storylines going into it. The Woken Matt Hardy storyline is going into it. We might see the reemergence of Bray Wyatt in this. This is pre-show, by the way. Confirmed pre-show.
Yeah, do we get a cutaway to a lake and then Bray Wyatt just emerges?
Bray Wyatt reemerge. He is down there, according to Braun Strowman's Instagram.
Sure.
Bray Wyatt is there.
Yeah.
Then
You
we
mean
have
Braun Strowman. Is Braun Strowman there?
Braun Strowman may or may not have made the flight.
Okay.
We have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which I think as soon as they took it away from Moolah, instead of having the uterus trophy, they should have just made another Andre one, but put a tutu on him.
Sure. Okay.
So we have that, which that also features the Bailey Sasha angle. They're gonna play
Sure.
out on that pre-show.
Yeah. Which I'm sure will play heavily into this because that's the next
big story,
biggest women's angle.
right? The Cruiserweight Championship, which 205 Live, that 205 Live might have fallen into the lake of reincarnation when Enzo Amore got popped, because that has reinvented itself as now the Cruiserweight tournament that we fell in love with, played out each week.
And by the way, the hottest guy there is Buddy Murphy right now. Apparently his match with Kalisto, I watched the highlights of.
Just
But
insane.
apparently it's like one of the best matches in recent history.
It actually kept the crowd after SmackDown chanting
Sure.
"Fight Forever" and all the indie stuff. Then we have the U.S. Championship Fatal 4-Way. The Viper, Randy Orton. The modern-day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal. The glorious Bobby Roode versus the man who reminds us the reason for the season, that it is indeed Rusev Day, Rusev.
I don't see how Rusev doesn't win this on Rusev Day. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. It's time for him to go on another U.S. title run.
Willie, this is a 7-hour show, and I can't imagine that it won't go 14 just by the entrances alone.
Sure.
Like, just look at the entrances in this match.
Yeah.
In this match, and I think this is on the pre-show too. This is, I mean, like, Randy Orton always gets a big thing. He had the surfing sperm last year. The modern-day Maharaja, he needs to come out on an elephant at some point. The glorious Bobby Roode, gigantic. And then Rusev is just going to blow the roof off the Superdome.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or the Silverdome,
Because
brother.
we're also going to get, a vocal performance before he comes out, and then the big pop, and then yeah. So
How
many
about this
things.
one? The Raw Tag Titles. Braun Strowman with a partner to be determined versus The Bar. The SmackDown Tag Titles. The Usos, The New Day, and the Bludgeon Brothers.
By the way, I like both the guys in the Bludgeon Brothers. but I am not totally on board with this gimmick and their outfits.
I am not either, but
Yeah.
I know that all three of these teams are
They're
insanely
all
talented
amazing wrestlers.
and
Yes.
apparently the rumor is that this is now a tables, ladders, and
Yep.
chairs match.
Which, you also now heard rumors because the Dudleys are getting
inducted into the
Hall of Fame inductions. Yeah. So do they somehow come out and get involved here?
Well, and Bubba Ray has made no secret that he thinks what should happen is for the Hall of Fame ceremony to have Edge and Christian, Matt and Jeff,
Yep.
and the Dudleys all on the stage at the same time. Do they look to do some kind of passing of the torch between these three teams and those three teams? We will see. But, I mean, if they're going to evoke memories of that, there's no way that they can't all kill each other.
Sure,
right?
this match should be
It's just gonna
and
be
look, we know the Usos and the New Day like to kill each other. And the Bludgeon Brothers just like to kill anybody. So, there's
So
definitely
the
there's a high
violence-
chance of death.
The violence, I mean, it might as well just be a suicide pact if what they're doing is remember one of the most violent and insane spectacle matches of all time. Now
Yeah.
we're going to top it.
Who tries to spear somebody off of a ladder? Probably Kofi.
You think
Kofi into an Uso?
he does the spear? Yeah. Or Xavier's the one who normally winds up.
Xavier takes some crazy ass bumps for sure. Maybe we get like some like Uso splash off the top of a ladder or something like that onto a table.
I would say maybe we get a Trouble in Paradise kick off a ladder.
Oh Jesus! Oh God, that makes me nervous just thinking about it.
I mean, who would be the drop? Who would be the? I mean, all right. If you want to top it, then what is it? Big E coming off the ladder?
Big E doing his suicide dive through a person.
Big E
off of the ladder.
Swanton bomb.
Oh Jesus! They're crazy enough to do it, man. Those guys will. Yeah. All right. Well, this match is going to be.
Let me tell you the most popular match on the card, Willie, because having been to a WrestleMania last year, the most popular match on the card last year was Brock versus Goldberg, because when you were already sitting there for 5 hours, man, were you excited for a 10-minute match. And I will tell you that Nia versus Alexa, when Nia just literally ragdolls the living shit out of her and beats her in 5 minutes, the crowd will be more excited for that than anything else on the card.
Yeah, as much as I love my girl Alexa, I think this is Nia's moment.
And also, in a card with a lot of matches that are going to go the distance,
you got to have some quick ones here and there. Yeah.
They have not built up Alexa just being an actual piece of shit, just totally going against everything that they have set up with their anti-bullying campaign.
Sure.
And body positivity, for her to not just get the living shit kicked out of her. Although, then again, this is the same company that had Triple H traffic in tremendous racial slurs and then also beat Booker T. So
this is also the company that had Brock Lesnar beat a man without a leg, right? Nearly to death. So.
Life sucks, and then you die. Intercontinental Championship, Miz versus Finn versus Seth. We talk about a match that might steal the show. This is a match that might steal the show. The return of Daniel Bryan plus Shane McMahon versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Goddamn, this match is so hype.
Another match that might steal the show.
Yeah,
Daniel Bryan and
is
Shane.
so hype, right? Oh my God! Just the music hits, the yes chants are gonna be insane. That's almost reason enough to drive for 7.5 hours just to participate in that yes chant.
SmackDown Women's Championship. Closest things we've gotten to a dream match in women's wrestling in my lifetime. That you can legitimately say this one should go 25 minutes. Charlotte Flair versus Asuka. Maybe the most hyped match at WrestleMania. Rowdy, Ronda Rousey, and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. I think this 10 minutes, get in, get out, get all your spots in, make Rousey tap out Triple H, and we're good to go.
If Rousey taps at Triple H, that will get a huge pop as well. I think, we're going to see Triple H accidentally hit Stephanie or something like that. It's going to be some things going on in that fashion. We are going to see the Stephanie Ronda stare down. There's a lot of moments here. There's going to be a lot of moments. You know how they do this in WWE? They make the moment last just a little longer than it was supposed to.
Yeah.
We're going to get several of those. Many stare downs.
All right. I will Venmo you $5 if that match doesn't end with Triple H tapping to Rousey's armbar. The only question is whether or not the ref is there to see it. That to me is the only question, because
you will get the armbar onto Triple H
because that is the spot. Yeah. The spot is, and Triple H lives to job at WrestleMania, except to Booker T. Other than that, he is and Sting. But other than that, he lives to put over people at WrestleMania. You look at his WrestleMania record, and it is abysmal.
Yeah. But that's fine, because he builds himself as the
the big piece of shit.
Everything
and
until
then
then, and then makes and then the big payoff.
The great unknown. We have gone into through all the build into WrestleMania weekend without us knowing whether or not Cena versus Undertaker is happening.
If the gong hits at any moment, the place is going to lose its absolute fucking mind, right?
I mean, also, how stacked is this card when I guess they were happy enough with the sales figures that they're like, fuck it. Let's just make it a surprise.
Sure. Yeah, it might happen. It might not. I did hear, by the way, that Daniel Bryan getting cleared bumped sales quite a bit. I don't know.
Oh my God. I can't. I mean, how could it not have?
How could it not? But what's funny to me is a WrestleMania needed sales bumps. What?
Well, I mean, look, when you look at that arena, and that's a massive arena. It's gigantic. AJ Styles, the champ that runs the camp, versus Nakamura.
Dude, we haven't even gotten to this match yet.
Shades of Wrestle Kingdom. I mean,
and both these guys want to steal this show. So
I almost feel like this is a match where it kind of can't help but underdeliver on our expectations, because we expect 9 stars. We expect finally Dave Meltzer will have to respect this.
Well, do you think though both these guys are going to go okay, remember Okada Omega? All right, let's show them what WWE can do here. Both these guys, they have to be thinking we're going to go out there and put on the best match of the night.
I also think that this is kind of one of those matches that probably needs to benefit Nakamura a lot more than it does AJ. AJ can afford to take the loss.
I agree. I think Nakamura, AJ, is fine with whatever outcome, whatever happens here. But Nakamura, I think, needs to put his stamp.
Well, and the question is,
tenure, right?
with all the outcomes, this is a lot more about where you're going versus where you've been.
Sure.
Nakamura versus Daniel Bryan for the championship at SummerSlam. That seems like just a no-brainer, right?
Feels good to think about.
Yeah, makes you
and
think.
Let's not okay, here's the thing too. If you're WWE, let's not build that for a year. Let's just go for it, because you got to be it's hard to think that Daniel Bryan is 100% guaranteed to wrestle for the next 5 years.
Yep.
Right?
SummerSlam. SummerSlam.
Right?
Let's just get it out. Wrap him in bubble tape. And then we're going. All right.
Take a Kinshasa. Let's go. Kinshasa, it's the battle of who hits the other guy with their knee first, right? Which I love.
And then the main event, man, Roman versus Brock. God, I wanted to rank these, but I don't even know if we have time at this point.
I don't think we can. All right, so here's how I'm going to rank them.
Rank it.
These are matches that could headline WrestleMania if there wasn't already Roman and Brock.
Okay.
AJ Nakamura, Rousey Angle, Triple H, Steph, Daniel Bryan Shane versus Owens and Zayn, and also it would be really, really fun if one day you had a tag team match, main event WrestleMania, and this could be the one that would do it. So there's like 5 matches here that could be WrestleMania headliners. That's how I will rank this. Out of a card of whatever, 12 matches, whatever it is.
Well, I mean,
nearly half of them are main event worthy.
The other one that you could say legitimately could main event is Flair Asuka, right?
True. Yes.
You know, because by the way, we might not be far away. And by not far away, I mean like this could happen within the next 5 years that we get a women's match main eventing. Because we're not far here.
Sure.
You know, title versus career in a dream match, or title versus streak in a dream match. That's big. Those are some well-built stakes.
By the way, do you think that this is the moment for them to break Asuka's streak?
I think so.
I feel like it's possible. This is what I love about this match is that if you'd have talked to me like six months ago, Dills, past Dills, would think there's no way Asuka ever goes to WrestleMania and loses.
Wait,
hold
on,
wait.
Did you
I'm legitimately going to watch this match and not know the outcome? I have no idea.
Did you put Cena Undertaker in your matches that could main event?
No, but it obviously could. I just put it there because I actually don't think it's happening.
You think that,
that
there's just going to be a stare down or something?
I don't even think Undertaker's going to come out.
You don't think? You think this was a total blue balls?
Yeah,
really.
I think they wanted it to happen, and it's just not happening.
Rumor is he's definitely going to be there.
All right. Look, if it does happen, I will be pleasantly surprised.
I mean, everybody seems to have fantasy booked that when Kid Rock comes and plays the WrestleMania theme, which is, you know, by Kid Rock, that he will then seg into American Badass, and we will hear the run, 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 run.
You think he comes out as Biker Taker?
That's the rumor.
But then they need to get Limp Bizkit.
Well, no, they had he came out to American Badass too.
Okay, all right.
I am the. Man, I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself, man. I'm just gonna go. Never has the Lord blessed us the way that the wrestling Lord has blessed us for this weekend. Such tremendous abundance on our plate. I don't even know. I just don't know what to do, Willie.
It's too much, man. It is too much. And I'm still not sure my plans. I'm going to have company this weekend, and I'm going to have to figure out how to be like, hey, I know you want to do stuff, but I need to watch lots of wrestling.
Yeah.
Lots of it.
And then just like keep putting on, you get like on the sly, you just go to those bars where you can like order stuff on the jukebox. And you just like on the slide, just keep putting on Kid Rock's New Orleans song.
Sure.
Just be like, hey, look at this. Oh, man. Oh, it's like the universe is trying to tell us something. Maybe we should just, hey, yeah, here's a crazy idea. What do you say we just hop in the car and go to New Orleans, huh?
Sure. Yeah. By the way, I will never, ever forget going to the Royal Rumble in San Antonio, going to the bar after, and the DJ just playing entrance songs for us the entire night, and people doing the entrances in like that little middle room section. We got it.
That's like one of my little entrepreneurial ideas. It's just to go to towns that are having pay-per-views and just have wrestler entrance karaoke and just like really play up. Like, hey, come in costume.
Yeah.
We'll try to stagger out people doing different entrances and everything, but you just put your name down. We'll have rudimentary lighting.
Which wrestler you want, and and come on up. Yeah. Just have like a couple of fog machines and stuff to kind of do the pyro kind of,
Yeah.
Some steam squirting and things like that.
Just do the Bobo version of
exactly.
Of that.
That sounds amazing, actually.
All right. It wouldn't be a 1-900 wrestling episode if we didn't have a Trey Warren authored shitty melodica cover. So here we go. This was last week's.
right, so it was Kevin Owens, right?
Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
All right.
For some reason, I thought we'd already had that, so that's why I was like not sure about it, but it definitely is.
All right, here we go. This might be our final one. We might need more from Trey
Oh,
Warren.
no. We need some more.
Here we go. This is this week's.
What is happening?
One more time. I feel like we're in a French bistro.
Yeah, that was the most. Okay, from all of them, that was the one that sounded like the original was probably also played on melodica, right? Usually it's like chunking guitar things.
Oh my God! I just read who it is. It's actually brilliant.
Really? Okay.
It is brilliant, but you're not far off. You have correctly determined that it is not a guitar theme.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's pretty obvious.
Oh my God! All right. Well, if you think you know what it is, then go ahead and hit us up on Twitter at Willie Dills, at Justin R. Young. Willie, what do you got going on?
So I will be probably not streaming a lot over this weekend, but trying to watch as much wrestling as I can. And there might be some IRL streams thrown in here and there. But next week, on the 10th or the 12th, the old expansion's going to hit. And there will be many, many streams from that day forth for the rest of the month.
Witchwood.
Yeah, the Witchwood. So twitch.tv/WillieDills, at Willie Dills on Twitter to find out when I'm going live.
And tell you what, I've been catching up on my Angry Chicken. Sounds like some of these cards, it's still kind of a bit of a baffle how these things are going to play out. Like they seem like they're kind of underpowered.
There's some weird cards. That being said, we're also at the change of a standard year, so decks in general are going to get less powerful as they lose a whole bunch of cards. And some of these cards might be much better than we think in that environment. So, yeah, there's a lot of weirdness going on. Some cards that are doing things that we've never seen before. It's going to be fun.
How about this one? Get fucked, Jade Druid. I'm glad that you're dead and no one will mourn your passing.
Jade Druid, peace out. Yeah, no one's going to care that that's gone because it's time.
God, it's so annoying.
I guess we're going to see Hand Druid. I don't know what the hell Druid's going to be now. It's going to be very strange.
Tell you what, you're going to find out on twitch.tv/Willie Dills when he explores the expansion next week. We'll know everything. Man, we didn't even get into who we think is going to happen on the SmackDown and Raw after Mania. Always the two best episodes of that fine program. We don't know who's leaving NXT, who's coming up, who's going to apparently there's a superstar shakeup on the horizon. We might get that the day after Mania. Oh my God, so much. The Hulkster might be back, brother. Has the racial divide been healed with Hulk Hogan being a racist on that tape where he fucked Bubba the Love Sponge's wife? So many questions that we didn't have a chance to get to. But you want to know what? On 1-900 Wrestling, we only do the best we can. Thank you guys so much for listening.
I want you to call me.
Please join us in our Discord. Become a patron. Patreon.com/1900 Wrestling. I have closed off any other things that I need to do this weekend. I'm going to be doing nothing but watching wrestling and talking shop right there on the Discord. Join us. Patreon.com/1900 Wrestling. My name is Justin Robert Young for Willie Dills Gregory. I ask you to please be dialing.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.